ChatGPT and stuff, we're gonna show more in the back end how everything is actually put together, how we can make use of it, how do we use it on our day-to-day tasks, from work, from our personal stuff. We'll showcase or we'll provide different use cases, so at least we can understand how can you use AI better, not just for work, not just for techie stuff, but also for our daily tasks. So what's intuitive AI interaction? So we have two sides. There's one, it's on the left hand side, it's called web-based user interfaces. We're going to show what are the top three web-based UI or user interfaces. So it's intuitive control, the data visualization, the pretty graphs, and the eye candies, and line management. That's going to be on the last side. On the right hand side, it's more the developer side, the dev stack, automation, rapid execution, dev pipelines, and sort of just all the back end stuff as well. So we're going to go ahead and show what are the difference using AI as a core function to do these sort of kind of different features. You know, what's best for us? What do we have to do best? Because I think at the end of the day, we always hear or it's like a buzzword every single day. AI this, AI that. I mean, even for I think I've seen the Ray-Ban or the sunglasses with AI in it already. So at least we could see how do you make a use out of this? Do we just buy a tool or do we buy integrated platforms? What's the best use case for us? The AI and the web user, there's top three. So here are the top three. Everybody knows what ChatGPT is, right? So that's OpenAI. It's the company is basically OpenAI. This is one of the founders and the cutting edge model that they have. A lot of people love it because it's simple, easy, and also it's all they have all the API plugin, and everybody knows AI is always ChatGPT, right? And then we also have Gemini. Gemini is from Google, so Gemini got their own different kind of sets of tool. We'll showcase or we'll provide some example what tool is best based on our experience and based on how we use these different sets of platform, right? Gemini is more on like images, video, editing. Not that OpenAI could not do it. Both can. Again, at the end of the day, it really depends on what you want to do. And both of them are kind of side by side. There's other features that one have versus the other, or some other stuff that, for me personally, anything graphics wise, creating PowerPoint slide graphics, I use Gemini. When it comes to integration, or a lot of coding, or reviewing scripts and stuff, I use OpenAI. Really depends on what. For us here at NetSecDAF, we use OpenAI. Showing capabilities, how we use it day to day, for our projects, for engineering, provide solutions, provide infrastructure management, and why we like Open Web UI. Open Web UI is free, it's open source, it's customizable, it's for enterprise use, not for personal use. So meaning that you can share information back and forth, Jeremiah, resume, for edit, and so forth. So there's a lot of integration. One thing that we also like in Open Web UI, since you can have this privately customized and built, the data control and security, you can actually kind of set who can access who, again, on the enterprise side. You can also use it at home, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. So again, what's the web user interface? For those of you guys who doesn't know what web UI is, it's a normal, kind of like going to Google, right? That's web user interface. You go to your Google, you search for something, or you go to Gemini, it's your normal web browser. So we input a key and retrieve this information, go to maps, to whatever. So that's web UIs, web application. So this is an example of, we're going to showcase first the Open Web UI. We use this a lot. This is our day-to-day from finance, from whatever usage that we wanted. And then we'll do a demo also later to kind of give you guys kind of what's going on or why do we like this platform so much and why do we spend so much time. Again, one is the data security that we could customize or that we could enforce. We have collection from resumes, from um, creating papers, and for interview process. So we use this platform a lot. Again, it's customizable. That's why we like it. We don't have to go by, Web UI or Gemini and so forth. And at the same time, we can incorporate both models in Open Web UI. So I can connect to Gemini. I can use Open Web UI or ChatGPT models at the same time, and any models can be linked to our system. So we don't have to stick with one. So that's one of the flexibility that we love about this Open Web UI. And it's open source. Again, it's free. So yeah, there's a lot of hours, manpower that we did that we uh, that we dedicated to make this happen. But again, there's flexibility that we don't have to spend. Reach 3 minutes ago. So it's actually pretty simple to use, and it looked like either Gemini or ChatGPT really. So, and this an example, I can have both large language models side by side, meaning I could have both GPT and Gemini at the same time, or fine tuning my prompts, what I want to do or what we want to do, and so forth. Right. So that's Open Web UI. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into here's the sample for Gemini. So Gemini is great on creating graphics, like what I mentioned earlier. So Gemini is pretty great on you could literally say, hey, could you create me a graphic for my PowerPoint slide as long as you give your context and the data or the information surrounding what you want Gemini to build, it can actually do it for you. So once you give it more information, you can easily type, hey, I want a picture of something. It will kind of guess what you really like. But again, bottom line is a lot of these models, as long as you have context and you are specific enough, you can get what you want. It can be frustrating at sometimes because, one try here and there, it can be frustrating, but the more information it gives to any AI model, that's your key basically. Right? And of course, the next one is our main one that a lot of people use, is the Chat GPT or the back end of Chat GPT, which is OpenAI. So here, not only for chat, we can use agents and audio, images, videos. It's so very, very powerful. Again, they're one of the pioneers of AI, right? So every time that somebody mentions AI, the first thing that comes to mind is like, oh yeah, Chat GPT, right? So, um, in a nutshell, these are the three web-based AI models. Any questions so far before I move to the CLI piece?
The one thing that would be helpful, it would be like if you had like a prompt that already you could just kind of demonstrate and basically say with some prompt like this, you'll create this image. I think it's a show me rather than tell me approach. Uh, I think people, because if I'm new to this stuff, I will zone out pretty quickly. I mean, I like,
Is it better that I flip back and forth between this because we already have the models and stuff already in the back end. I was actually going to show that later after a whole more. Or would it be best that okay, this is OpenAI, move to OpenAI, show the demo? What do you guys think is the best? Just show these and then do a demo one at a time, or do a demo after the web UI?
why don't I let Jeremiah go ahead first?
When I demo, just go through the slide. Basically, you're telling them what AI is, and then after that, you're gonna show them. And after we show it to them, we tell them again, we reinforce it. Look, we have shown you how you actually create prompts to produce these results, and then enforce, like basically just do a quick break, and then close it out that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I have in mind. So after these, couple of slides, we're actually going to go ahead and showcase the different models. So this is our, this is open. This is our own open web UI, and then we have, the Gemini platforms and so forth. And then they can actually go to, we can do a demo. We can kind of let them kind of play around with it and so forth. Yeah, this is what actually I have in mind.
Okay.
What do you think, Dr. Ramos? Would that work?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch at the beginning. I didn't catch at the beginning that you were going to quickly talk about the model and then go into the demo. I didn't catch that, so that was good. I mean, if that's the approach, let's go ahead and follow through with that. Because I think for a beginner, you want to give them a quick intro or what the different models are, and then show them, right? So let's go ahead and continue. I think you're doing pretty good so far. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we learned before too.
Yeah, and another thing that I didn't catch what you were saying, did you say these models are free or they are pay model?
It's a combination. So for
Okay.
our model, like the one that we're using, that's the front end. This front end is free. So once you start using the model, these models are free too. They have free tiers, meaning you can just go ahead and sign up, but it's limited to the amount of work that you want the model to do for you.
Mhm.
So there's what we call an API. So which is you hook to the actual model, ChatGPT and stuff, and you pay by the usage. So it's cheaper than actually building your own or paying for an enterprise usage for like $300 a month. So this API is basically per use basis. So we call them tokens. So I mean, in a month you could probably. It really depends on how much you use it. The developer, the techie, yeah, it gets kind of pricey. It depends on how many people are actually going to be using it. But for personal and stuff, you barely going to go ahead and spend $5 a month.
Really?
Again, it's per what we call token.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so you basically just got to sign up like the Google Gemini, and then they have like a sign up and yeah, it's like I haven't really we haven't really spent so much money on it. Again, it really depends on how you want to use it. If
Okay.
you're in a business providing service that has an AI capability, yeah, of course you're gonna spend a couple $100 a month and times the number of users. But for personal use, for research, writing out papers or proofreading your write-ups and stuff, project planning. I mean, I haven't seen it go more than $50 a month, honestly.
Okay.
Yep. And the next interface, it's called command line interfaces. What are the command line interfaces? Command line interfaces. So Google also has, Gemini has the command line. The way, at a high level, who would want to use a CLI or CLI is really command. There's no point and click. You really have to type, which we're gonna demo again at the end of these couple of lines. Who would want to use this? These type of platform or CLI platform are geared towards the developer, the coders, and the integrators. So this is a lot easier for them because it can integrate to any system that they like. So basically, just think about it that, hey, I have an AI, but I don't want to go to the web. I want to put this AI model on literally installed in my machines, either at home or at home. So I can bring it anywhere with me. And then as long as you have internet access, this can call to Google and basically whatever command that you want to do, that you want to type, that you want to create, it calls to Google servers and through API, and then it will kind of work for you. Again, this will make more sense once we start kind of showing how it really works. So Gemini CLI is from Google. The of course OpenAI or ChatGPT, they have their own too. So as you can see, there's less pictures. It is more on what do you want to do? Tell me what do you want to do? What do you do? Code? Let's go ahead and do it. So that's the kind of high level in a nutshell. Why do you want to go ahead and use this? For regular users, that doesn't deal with development or integration and programming per se. Um, this is not kind of meant for this type of group. However, it's still good for us for the beginner standpoint. It's like, hey, I think I want to go ahead and learn more about. I want to do program or I want to do more on machine learning. This is one of the best way to get started. The open web or the web platform is fairly easy, but again, it's limited on what you want to do, meaning that it's not really integrated to your machine physically. You're using somebody else's server. You're sending codes to or sending your information to whoever platform that you're using, Google, OpenAI, and so forth. So again, we keep on saying it really depends on what you want to do, right? And then last but not least, this is Claude. Claude is the same thing as OpenAI and Google's Gemini, same thing. So really, it's all command line driven. It's much faster. Integration again. It's all about integration and coding and programming. So these are the type of CLI that we've tested so far, and it kind of work on us based on what we want to do. It depends on our projects or coding integration that we want to do. Some are good versus the other. Some are pretty decent. Some are faster. But personally, for me, I've been liking Claude Code a lot because it integrates with some of our pen testing class or pen testing stuff that we do, web assessment, and all that stuff. But not to say that Claude can do everything and these two guys cannot. Yes, you can too. It's just for me personally, I've been liking it more because of the integration that we've been doing in the past, 6-8 months using Claude code. So that's DLI. We'll show you the demo in a bit. Moving on to the next topic, seamless tool integration, moving into your AI workflow. What can other than what we talked about, what else could it do? This is more on workflow. What is a workflow? Workflow meaning that just think about what do you do daily, repetitively, that you want to automate or that you want to process that you don't really have to think about it. Say, hey, I'm reading this feed, multiple feeds every day, RSS feeds like, hey, I want to. I always go to Washington Post, or I want to do this, or even for shopping, I want to go to this. I want to see the best deals for this week before I go shopping. You could actually automate that as long as you can link to a website. This automation or workflow could do it for you. Just imagine, meaning that hey, instead of me reading to these feeds in my email every single time, I'm gonna click the link, read the topics that I want this AI automation workflow can actually do it for you. We're actually going to give a showcase on how we do these integration with automation, process automation, execution, and a little bit of optimization. So instead of us spending a couple hours a day trying to find the best for us for NetSec Tap, it's all about security, vulnerabilities. We want to make sure that our users and our clients are fully aware, especially for the decision maker on, hey, we got a 0-day or we got a vulnerability and it affects, Cisco devices and so forth. Instead of us analyzing all these data a couple of hours a day, we could actually streamline that process and basically just send us a summary of email. Hey, this is what you guys need to look at day to day. Jeremiah works for a stop vulnerability company. That's what they provide. Wouldn't it be nice? Let's say, Dr. Ramos, you're one of the stakeholder that you wake up in the morning, instead of you sifting through all these information, it takes you hours upon hours just trying to figure out what do I need to look at. Would it be nice to basically see, oh, okay, I'm not really affected. I don't have any Cisco devices. More a Juniper shop, more like a firewall, more on Palo Alto side, where we don't have those devices. We're a Mac users. We're not PC users. So all that process that you do day to day, just think about it for a second. What could you automate? So these are kind of the different areas that we could um, do within the AI instead of just the normal go to ChatGPT, find out some answer, create me a paper, or help me write a paper, and so forth. We'll show you how the kind of back end kind of works, right? And how maybe improve my skill set, or on a business standpoint, hey, I can start automating instead of me sending mass email every day to Facebook, to my platform. I can automate that and basically use my mailing list and basically send it to all my users twice a week or even every day. So, right. An example platform is called NAA. So, bear with me in this one. This is how the backend actually kind of works. So, for example, schedule a trigger. It looks to RSS feed, either Washington Post or any news feed that you want. It basically collects all that information, it merge it to a text file or to a a nice document format. And what we do is we shoot that over to a large language model or an AI. At this setup basically is using OpenAI chat model. What it does, it basically sifts through all that information, but we program the AI to say, I don't want all that information. I want X, Y, and Z. Score it, give it like a high level, critical, medium, high for vulnerability. Uh, Analyze the risk and send that email or send it to us in Discord. Right? So this whole flow, we don't have to keep on doing this every day. It's automatic. So it reaches to the feed, it goes through its motion, and then it summarizes it, and then send us an email or a text or a post in Discord, which will look like this. So instead of us sifting through all the different information, vulnerability, risk, threats, it will show up in our desktop and say, oh, okay, these are the critical information that I need to look at today, instead of those hundreds of keywords and vulnerabilities. This one actually came from DISA or CISA from DHS saying, hey, it summarized it for me. If I want to click on the actual source, it's there. What do I need to do? How do I mitigate some of these risks? Is it my enterprise? Is it my personal? So everything's summarized for me. Back then, it will take us at least an hour or two daily to go through all of these information, analyze it, package it, what makes sense to us, what are junk, what the areas that we don't want to see. So now it's an automated way of bringing in the key information that we want day to day. Right? So that's one. AI in finance, that's another thing. I can easily copy and paste or I can go to my um, MSN Finance or my Fidelity, instead of reading through, what are the top 5 companies that gives out, X number of dividends throughout the year. I can just go ahead and paste that in, create your prompt, and we'll give you a nice kind of summary instead of going through all of those 5, 10, 15 pages of documentation, PDF. And then after the second page, like, oh, I'm kind of lost. Really, I just want to know which are the top 5 that I can start investing on, based on risk, moderations, and so forth. Right. So, of course, and just because AI doesn't mean it's all technical stuff, right? We use it for finance as well. And then at the same time, for any legal documentation. So we could easily upload some of this documentation that we don't fully understand, give us a high level of, what are the agreements, what are the gotchas, what's important to me, and they'll provide a summary for me. Right. So this one, this example we uploaded a non-disclosure agreement, and basically we ask AI, it's like, hey, combine all your understanding, yada yada yada, 30-word sentence. Give me a summary. What are the gotchas? What is this document? Mark down some information about, output me. What's the recommended one? What do I need to look at in terms of the bullet points? What's important for me? So I can make a decision that, before signing this non-disclosure agreement, right? Question.
Lots of time, what you actually need to do, especially with legal documents, to compare a series of texts to another. Like when I know in my case, we have a standard that we need to adhere to, but then we get this document from vendor X, Y, and Z and say, hey, I want you to sign up to this one. So in my case, where I spend most of my time is analyzing, well, how different are your words against a standard, So summarizing is good, but comparing is better for people like in the legal department. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Let's say, for example, I think what the default is for a regular person individual, which he gave a pretty good point, Dr. Ramos. Let's say, hey, it's not giving you a legal advice per se. And then, AI or any large language model will shy away from giving you a legal advice. Same thing with that finance stocks. It's not going to tell you, hey, should I buy the stock now or not? What we like the most is once you tune the AI, tune meaning the prompt. I think Jeremiah mentioned this earlier too, is you basically craft what do you want the AI to do for you. So if it's more on the legal, analyzing legal documents, this is a sample of a prompt, right? So we created a prompt to state that, hey, AI, you are an expert of analyzing contracts and agreements and looking for gotchas. Like we mentioned, Dr. Ron was like, hey, I don't have time to sign this 5 or 6 page document because I really need to go ahead and work with these vendor X, Y, and Z. You upload the documentation, you basically ask not just to summarize. This is a little bit more than summarization of the agreement that I uploaded. It's basically also looking for any gotchas. So it will highlight it for you. Hey, make sure that this line or chapter so and so, make sure you understand this or you talk to your legal department before signing your life away or before signing this. So it will actually bubble up or it will highlight the pertinent information that you wanted. So instead of you going through or, hey, I don't have any time to go ahead and read all this. Let me send this to my legal department. Your legal department is so busy. 15 days, 30 days later, they haven't got back to you yet. Wouldn't it be nice to basically have an understanding of what your company will be signed in the future? At least you can also, not just yourself, Dr. Ramos, is your team can say, hey, they have this statement over here that we have to do X, Y, and Z, right? That's one of the beauty or advantages of having sort of like automating process. It's kind of like having 15 people working for you so you can make that executive decision, right?
Sounds good.
Hopefully that answered your question, Dr. Ramos.
I think you did.
All right, moving on to the next one. This is almost on the next level. So we talked about the integration, a little bit of automation, more advantage of why are we doing this, right? It's not to eliminate people. We still need human to make that last piece of the decision. Can we make the AI technology do it for us? Of course you can, but as for us, we still need human to go ahead and almost uh, at the end of the line, even though we can automate a lot of these process, it's just making us guiding us to make a smart decision or making a better giving us more support.
I have a,
Making.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is this presentation designed for like a decision maker, or is it designed for people to join the training program?
It's actually catered for everybody.
Okay, because
Yeah, because we don't know.
right. 'Cause I was thinking this chart is really good to be like upfront. What would you accomplish by taking this training? One, significantly boost efficiency. Two, reduce manual effort and human error. Three, you know what I'm saying? This is the why you're doing this thing. So I think this chart to me, it's good where it's at, but maybe, because people want to know, why am I sitting here? You know what I'm saying? So this is a good chart that kind of tells them the why they're here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you could leave it where it's at, or you could think about perhaps addressing the why a little bit earlier than now. But with that being said, I continue to listen. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the reason why we asked.
Be left behind because
That sort of discussion at the beginning will be important, because in essence, people say like, what is in for me? Why am I sitting here? Right? So
you know to give them both hope as well, but basically with information. Yeah, you know, the, they will let it go. They will, they will let it go.
okay.
We can definitely do this. So I got in my notes, explain the whys, why you're here, and then set a clear expectation. What would they get out from this session or this presentation? Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Dr. Rock.
Yep, we can do that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So next, again, more use cases, project planning, and so forth. So here's an example. If you're a techie guy, um, or not even techie guy, you're a project manager, you're leading some effort, data centers, migration, and so forth. Not only can basically kind of give you the technical aspect, but it could help you fine tune your project plans, or um, you're meeting, if you're a part of a huge project, you could kind of create your project plan in more detail as to what needs to be done first and so forth. So if you're a project manager and then you work with a bunch of technical guys, not to say that you don't need to, you not know what you're doing, but wouldn't it be nice if you can actually understand or have a full picture of what's going on, right? Because at the end of the day, the project managers are the one driving the schedules, the timeline, the milestones, and so forth. But at least if somebody gave you these technical information of we have to do X, Y, and Z first, these are the dependencies before we can move on to the next phase, you could easily craft your, hey, I have this project a timeline. This is, can we actually do this based on the number of people, the number of hours that we do? So you can project more, right? So you have more data, more information before you can, present that to management and the decision maker. That's what exactly you guys going to do with this project. So another example of how could we leverage, take advantage of this, the AI or the technology today within AI, kind of build out or enhance the way we do project planning and so forth. More of the in that next step, we actually automate resume review, right? So somebody will send us an email stating that, hey, Ray, Jeremiah, can you guys go ahead and review this resume? They send us, they send a resume, attach the resume to email, send it to us. It goes through the motions and features. It saves the resume to us, and then our AI agent will basically, we craft the AI agent to extract the resume based on the job requisition or what we're looking for in terms of different position that we're trying to fill in, or even just to improve their resumes, right? Then it will either send us an email or post the information in our Discord channel. And then that's only for me and Jeremiah to basically see, because we get resumes every single time. And Jeremiah's actually mentioned it'd be nice if it basically kind of, instead of reading through 4 or 5 pages of resume every single day, or I'm sure Dr. Ramos, you probably get a lot of resumes too. It would be nice to automate some of these processes and say, oh, okay, this guy's good, this guy is good. This guy really needs a little bit more of enhancing his resume, because it looks like we're looking for this type of people, but it's not going to meet the requirements, right? Well, what you're looking for. Once it goes through our workflow, our AI automation resume review workflow, it'll give us an sort of a summary. And this is an example of a resume that we got, and then our system will basically say, hey, Ray, Jeremiah, you have a resume here for review. This candidate actually it will highlight the information that we need for a specific recruiter that we're working for. So it's not for every single jobs out there, right? However, we can customize our AI agent based on what types of individual or experience we're looking for, right? And then once we plug that in, it will generate these nice automated information for us that catered for the recruiters or company that we're looking for. So instead of Jeremiah going through all these resume daily of myself, we have a little bit of information already ahead of time before we start working with our recruiters, right? So, or the companies. So like this resume, education is highlighted, the technical skills that we're looking for, the professional experience, project experience, and some notes, right? Not 5-page documents or resume, but at least we can have it so we can easily go through those resume and pick whatever we need to pick before we start working on the recruiters and the company that are actually looking for people, right? So yeah, these are the automation example. We've highlighted the different platform. Now we can go ahead and proceed to the demo. But before we go over to the demo, any questions?
Just a comment. I kind of like that. This is the workflow and this is the output. I think that's what you were showing on page. Yeah, that's the workflow, and then the next page was 27. That was the output.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was good. It shows not only this is the workflow and this is the output, so people get a chance to see what the. I'm assuming that's the output, right? That you get, or is that the resume?
Oh, this is actually the output. The resume is already embedded here. The resume is
Okay.
all in our cloud ready. So if we need to go ahead and extract the resume, we can just go ahead and go to our email and then grab it from there.
Yeah, as soon as it doesn't show people's name, right? It'd be great.
Yeah, it's just so because sometimes we don't know, right? So sometimes the system will basically spits out, oh, this is what you're looking for. We're like, well, who is this person again? So at least this one, basically, hey, this is just a made up one. Maybe it's a real resume, but we have a candidate named Faye Wan, and we're at that time we're looking for quite a few dev stack the developers or full stack devs. So it kind of highlighted all these 5, 10 resumes that was sent to us, and we can easily kind of choose like, oh, okay, Mr. Guan is actually one of our best candidates.
Yeah.
We can name the top 3 out of 15, 20 resumes that we received that day.
Okay. Okay.
So this is our platform. This is our NetSec Tabs open LLM. This is the open web UI interface, like what we talked about. Here's basically a sample one. Here's the language model that we can pick from. Right, so we could easily pick from, Chat GPT or GPT-5, whatever is latest one. We also have so many different LLMs that we could choose from. Again, it's based on what we're working that day or what our use case is. So we could easily switch to Gemini without leaving our platform. We could easily hook to any LLMs that we want based on the project that we're working for, or even for like day-to-day tasks. How about, for example, right now, I'm using Gemini 2.5, and we can just do AI awareness. So it basically just goes to, it already input what I wanted. It goes to Gemini and basically say, hey, this is the understanding of AI, which is crucial. Well, these are good in our platform for the people that's starting to dive into AI, right? It's not more on, because if you look at the let's say for example the Chat GPT, it's kind of daunting in a way, right? So the first time that you see this, right, research safety open AI, it's kind of mind blowing. You're basically gonna say, I mean, where do I even begin, right? Where do I start? Right? It's kind of if you're starting, right, you got all these. What do I do, right? If you were starting to learn AI day one, right? What do I do? So I just type like ask anything and stuff. So it assumes that you already know what you're kind of doing. I mean, yes, I can easily say, what is the time in Virginia or Manila, Philippines, and so forth, projects and stuff. But you know, it takes, I mean, for a beginner, for example, I'm just going to go ahead and say, well, let me go ahead and dive into AI. Where do I even begin? And that's the reason why we created this session is for folks that either know AI or want to do more, want to go more on the developer side or the tech job. How can they enhance their skill set using AI? So that's number one, right? Second is how do we incorporate our day-to-day activity, even my work, using AI. So the platform that we choose is a little bit more on basic to advanced stuff that we could easily put some information already for people that, hey, what is a, how do I do a regular prompt, right? So, for example, here, hey, I want to go ahead and do more. What this is geared towards NetSec tap, or what do we do? And then it explains how Jeremiah and I, every single time that somebody will come to us and say, hey, I want to jump into cybersecurity. For us, we can just say, hey, either go to our AI or we can talk to you more about it. But this is the summary that Jeremiah and I always talk to certain individuals on creating their career path. What do you want to do? Because we always get, Jeremiah can attest to this, like, hey, I want to do cybersecurity. And the first thing that our first question is always like, what do you want to do? So I'm like asking, I want to be a doctor, right? What kind of doctor you want to be, right? There's brain doctor, there's a heart surgeon, there's a neurologist. There's so many different paths that you have to take. For us, we kind of summarize it already for them, right? Or for certain individuals saying, hey, okay, if you want to be cyber analyst, engineer, penetration tester, here's your career goals, or here's the career path. And again, this is just one of the automated processes that we want to do.
Yeah.
And
The one comment that I have is we need to have less words and more pictures. People think in pictures, they're not going to be able to read
Yeah.
through what you have here. It's a good point to flash at one time, but maybe a little graphic that shows that if you got three different career paths, a graphic that shows three career paths, like three different people, with different. If you're a doctor with a doctor's suit, you know what I'm saying, an engineer with a hard hat. You know what I'm saying? Because I think people will zone out if it's too many words. They would just zone out.
This is the actual. It's not the picture.
Okay.
This is just people want to do this. This is the demo part already. This is really, I mean, this is our. So this would not create like a picture for us. We could use like Google Gemini to create a graphics for us, but it's this is the actual environment that I mean we could customize that, but it's not really meant for hey a cyber engineer kind of draw a picture. This is the live system. I mean we could ask it to create a graphics for us, but it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, I don't understand, but I think from the training perspective, go ahead. Go ahead. Hmm. Okay, is that like a giveaway? Mm, yeah. So, mhm. So that might be a good
This is
question to ask.
basically showcasing. So,
Yeah, that might be a good question to ask at the beginning. Okay, they may not know, but at least Okay, let's see what path are you into. Are you just a novice that know nothing, and you just want to know the basic information about AI, or are you a seasoned individual that wants to get into engineering, right? Because I mean, I don't know if that'll be a good question to ask at the beginning or not, but I'm just thinking out loud right now.
okay, I mean that's a good point, but I thought this whole thing is basically kind of address like different audiences, and then they can decide
Hmm.
if, like what you mentioned earlier, this is why we're here. So they have kind of sort of a pathway of what can I really use AI for? Is it really for me, or am I really ready to use AI for my work day to day activity?
Yeah,
Right?
but think of this:
We're
if
not really doing the training to build your AI today.
I know,
This
but
is just showcasing what types of different tools. It's almost like, hey, I want to be a mechanic, but we're showing them like, hey, this is a tool to basically fix your car battery. This is a tool for this. This is the top three that we evaluated already that
mhm,
works for us. That can, maybe somehow works for you too. The
right.
training piece is more on like 3 4 hour sessions that we can actually show you on how to do prompting, engineering, and stuff. So I think we
I mean, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But what I kept thinking is, if we go after everyone, we're gonna get no one. So if the presentation is good the way it is for everybody, but then you kind of say, based on the audience that week or that day, you say, those of you that are interested on prompt engineering or just creating video or whatever, this might be a good session for you. Like, if you kind of know at the beginning what the interest is, as you go into your presentation, you could say, okay, this will be good for you. Let's keep this one. If you want more data, give us a call. You know what I'm saying? Sort of tailor it to the people that are on the presentation that day, because there will be different people every time. So you want to have a
Yeah.
presentation that's right, exactly. Right. And that's a good thing. Think about, what's the hook? What are we selling? You know what I'm saying? From the perspective is, we have but you guys have a lot of knowledge about AI. It's undisputable. But the question is, people always asking, what is in for me? How do I learn that task? And is that what I want to learn? Like for me, I'm just interested on AI, video
Yeah. We will.
creation. Yeah, 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 that makes sense. Right. So far, so good. Thank you, guys.
So yeah, this open information piece talking about it's called one-on-one. This is backend stuff too. Um, so you saw on the slide, this is our kind of resume builder. So what it does, it basically kind of sends an email, and then goes through the motion of dissecting the attachment, uploading in our a OneDrive in Microsoft, and then extract the information. And then we program AI to basically we could change this every single time. This could not this doesn't have to be static. This is good for people who basically really hire people, managers that are involved with hiring people, reviewing resumes and stuff. This could easily be tailored to what types of jobs or job rec or what kind of resume kind of people that you're actually looking for. So this doesn't have to be static. At this time, we're actually looking for a cyber role since we're a cyber kind of company and we work with a lot of people in the cyber realm. So we tell the AI, hey AI, analyze all the attachment or the attachment that you're getting, and then give us these information. Three gaps of we want to make sure there's no gap in resumes and so forth. What we actually wanted, we tailored or we tell AI to basically extract that information for us and present that to us. After we do that, the AI goes through its motion. It will then post it on Discord. That the information that we got in Discord will actually, it looks like this resume reviews. So all of these basically, it will alert Jeremiah and myself if we're looking for this actually um, Jeremiah's resume, and here's the one that we received from another email. So it highlights the information that we want, so we can actually sift through tons of information that we're dealing day to day conducting resume review. Last example, a couple of months ago, they were looking for a routing switching guy to send us an email, and then it went through, and also highlight if they're a cleared individual. So the automation piece is very handy for us. Again, like what we mentioned, this is automated. Sends us an email, posts it in Discord, and sends us back information that we wanted. The other one that we want to go ahead and show is the automated one that we do the sift through different types of RSS feed. What is an RSS feed? RSS feed literally looks like a link. This is a feed burner from you know Hacker News, right? Instead of us going through all these information, right, every single day, right, doing this, clicking on the link, this will automatically format it for us, merge them together, and then we tell the AI, it's like, hey, you are a cybersecurity expert. Please summarize all the information for me. I don't want everything. We just want the top five that pertains to us. So we want the title, the content, and provide us the link so we know where it's actually coming from, not just some random guy basically posting stuff on the internet. They'll summarize it for us, make sure the source is legit, and then we ask OpenAI or ChatGPT to basically say, hey, summarize it for us, and we want this kind of format. What it does, it actually gives us information. Again, we use Discord a lot for our information, for our backend stuff, and it actually gives us the tech news. So the tech news is a day-to-day stuff. So we don't have to go through, sift through all the stuff every single day. When we wake up in the morning, like today, we basically have that information at hand already. All we have to do is basically, okay, this is the summary of this link. It came from the source, so we know where it came from, if it's a legit or not source. And then it'll give us this information and basically say, hey, we'll watch out for, if you're using Telegram, Snapchat, or Signal, make sure that, you're fully up to date and so forth, right? So threat actor, the hacking activities and so forth. Again, instead of reading through those tons of feeds every day, we fine tune our AI model or AI platform to basically send this information for us. So it's summarize it for us. So we don't have to keep on, okay, I think this is a good link. Let me go ahead and send it to email it to everybody.
I had
We
a
sort of
thought.
made that process already.
I had a thought. You know how you do like a little quizzes as you go through and people respond to it? Like, for example, you could ask this question: is this applicable to you? Is this something, whatever question there are, like when you finish a section, so you get some output, like as you go through, you get feedback from the individuals. Have you guys tried doing that?
Yeah, we still have that in our classes. So Zoom with polls and stuff. Um, that we could some sections that we have. If it sorry, what does not work, what kind of topics that they want to see on the next.
Right, because this is a hook, right? This is what's going to bring people in, right? So you want to get some feedback from them, some sort of feedback, so that okay, this area, the students said X, Y, and Z, and you can modify the presentation for next time. So
We can change the form, all questions, which to
right, so that might be something that you want to implement, right? So as you go through it, and you kind of ask the question, because some sort of question, so that people are not falling asleep for one. Not that you're not interested, but I mean, no, at the end is too long. It's too much. I mean, the way that I've seen it lately is, I mean, they have several times within the course as you're taking it, where they ask questions. And I mean, there's a two purpose for that. Is one, making sure people are paying attention, and two, you kind of keep it so you get some feedback from. If you design the question correctly, you'll be able to get some feedback as to what you're delivering to them. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the question and knowledge, are you aware of this? How much do you know about AI? I don't know, some question like that, or is this section about resume workflow interesting to you or not? It could be a yes or no question. So that way, as you go through, you say, okay, this is good. Let's keep that in the presentation. This one we could improve on. I'm just an idea. You don't have to implement it, but I'm just thinking out loud here. That might help. Back to you.
Sure to do certain like topics that we cover and then ask questions. Because for us, what we do in ours is we do the feedback towards the end so we can tailor it for the next go round. But we could incorporate it to so we just to understand or to get the cost the idea that you're talking about. Let's say, for example, this automation. Should we ask after this or during the demo?
I think after you do the demo, you kind of you first what you're gonna tell them what you're gonna do, then you do it, then you're asking how you did, or something like that, right? So we're going to tell you about the workflow automation. Here's an example, one that we done, where you show the workflow and the output. Now you ask them, okay, you ask them some feedback as what you presented, right? So it's sort of like the show. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you what I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to tell you, and then you tell me how I did, kind of stuff. I mean, I don't want to make it too complicated, but I'm just saying, waiting until the end may not be the best, and I don't want to stop the flow that you have to ask question every 2 or 3 slides, but maybe on the major portion that you actually, because you said there were 3 sections in the beginning, right? There were 3 models, right? And then you go into the explaining them, and then you go into demonstrating what they do. So if you're thinking in groups of threes, you know, at the end, you want to be able to, they should be able to know about the 3 models that you kind of talked about and what they can do with it, right? Or something like that.
Okay, I just want to keep this because sometimes these questions. So we need to go ahead and for questions or questions, and I do I do this? I want to go ahead and do this, and then it kind
No,
of we lost.
yeah, but the way that the pool works, you ask the question, you could say, look, 10 people answer and 10% said this, 10% said that. Okay, so you don't have to, you're not really having a dialogue at each section. You're just getting some feedback, and then you move on. You're kind of reading the result of what they answer. You know what I'm saying? Let's assume there are 10 people, right? And you ask a yes or no question. You could say 50% say yes, 50% say no. I don't know what you draw out of that, but or you could say 70% of the people say yes, and 30% say no. You're always going to get that variability on the responses. So basically, you well, just think about it. I mean, unless you're actually specifically talking about exactly what the question you may want to ask, you know. I don't want to make it too complicated, just kind of I just thought waiting to the end to get feedback is may not be the best, but that's just one point there.
Yeah, and then I was just trying to. We're just trying to figure out to where do we do it? Because now we have, we present the slide. Then when we do the demo, should we put that like when we're doing a demo, do the ask like the feedback, before and after, with this kind of let's say we're doing the demo for like this piece of automation, right? Uh, like for this. So we're basically gonna give them like an overview. This is demo for automation. This is what it does. And then at the end of this specific piece, that's where we get their kind of feedback. It's not like, hey, with this use case, would this work for you, or who would use this kind of type of automation? Is that what you want to go ahead and? I'm just trying to draw a
Right. So,
picture
like for example, that's a good example. You said you go through the process and you show the output, and you could ask the question: is this type of automation something that's beneficial to you? That could be a yes or no question. The next question will be, is there someone in your organization that could benefit from this automation? Yes or no? Is it something that you could see yourself doing in your own personal business? No more than three questions, but they could be yes or no, and then you could say to question number one, 20% say this, 20% say that, 10% say this. You know what I'm saying? So that way you're not asking them to go Q&A, but basically you ask the question, they give you the response, and you read the outcome of the survey, right? And then say, okay, let's move on to the next section. I'm just thinking out loud here. I think it would be some benefit of kind of asking one or two questions once you finish through the demo. Like for example, if the thing was zero interest to me, you say, well, I don't work on that, so I have no interest in that. That'll be one data point. If 20% say, yes, we all do this every day, this will be very good. So you get a data point there as well.
All right. I think we can do it. What do you think, Jeremiah? Any
Yeah, like we mentioned to you actually see opening deep seat or you guys use any of these. We give them what we can do.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to make sure that we did capture.
All right.
That's what you want to. That's what you're talking about, right, Dr. Ramos?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's basically the last. Is the AI automation piece. Those that are last, and then we do the Q&A.
But we can open up.
Okay, let me stop the recording because I think right now we're just talking right now. Give me a second.